My name's Aaron White. I'm Head of Business Services for Oakland Care and also Head of Sustainability.
My name is Kerry Mills. I'm the Deputy Manager here at Maplewood Court and I'm also the Green Champion.
Throughout Oakland Care, we've seen that all of our colleagues have some degree of interest in sustainability. It's very common now, hopefully, in people's day-to-day lives to be thinking about acting more sustainably or caring a little more for the environment, even if it's something as simple as reducing their utility use at home.
Staff and residents here at Maplewood Court are more and more interested in sustainability. They like to take part in different activities like recycling and being more efficient with energy usage. So they like to turn lights off behind them, because they know it's an impact on the environment. And the thing that they're getting more and more concerned about is climate change.
We made a lot of changes at Oakland Care in regard to improving our sustainable credentials, and a lot of those changes are at ground level, and our residents benefit from them greatly. So for instance, a lot of our initiatives that we run, such as recycling or reduce, reuse, recycle schemes, our residents do actively get involved with. So an example of that, for instance, is perhaps in our flower arranging club. We use flowers from the garden, and at the end of the flower arranging, when the flowers are spent, they will go into the compost ready for next time. Our residents can get involved in a lot of those day-to-day activities.
So residents love to be involved in different activities, especially sustainable activities. So for example, if we are making items, they love to be involved, or we ask them to be involved and they enjoy being involved. They like to do small things like hanging washing in the garden, and it makes them feel involved in everything that's going on in the home, and they also appreciate that they're impacting a good thing in the outside, in the world that we live in.
A lot of things we do for sustainability at Oakland are about improving our local environmental impact as well. So a lot of our garden spaces are designed specifically for biodiversity, and that really helps with resident well-being as well. We find a lot of people really enjoying it out there in the garden, seeing nature thrive. So sustainability has a lot of wider benefits other than just those pure environmental credentials, and resident well-being is at the heart of a lot of that. Becoming more sustainable naturally means becoming more efficient. That might mean producing less waste, it might be using less paper, it might be using more efficient systems. Whatever it might be, efficiency and sustainability are linked very closely. If you're more efficient as a workforce, then you've got time for the more important things in the workplace, which is spending one-to-one time with residents, doing what they truly like to do, having those relaxed conversations, and things that many providers find that they don't have time to do with their residents. If you increase efficiency for a sustainability purpose or not, then you will have more time to spend with your residents, and that can only be a good thing. So a large part of my role is Head of Business Services as well. So I look after a lot of the systems and integrations and kind of the operation side of those as well throughout the business. So we've introduced a lot of those recently, whether it be electronic invoicing or electronic rostering systems and timesheets, electronic clocking in for our visitors and our staff, for instance. And all of those drive efficiency for our colleagues and our business as a whole, which is fantastic in that benefit, and it also has a very positive sustainable angle in that it reduces paper use as well. We're looking at working with a system that can help monitor the environment more closely for our residents, and that will also help us monitor our utility use as a result. So again, there's a really good example of how something to enhance residents' well-being can also help with our sustainability credentials, in that hopefully we can make the environment more comfortable, waste less energy, and have the sustainable benefits that way as well. So sustainability and innovative technology are linked. They're absolutely linked because it reduces paper use considerably, which is a real big benefit, and it also drives some efficiency as well. So by having a more efficient workforce, you will by default waste less, and if you are wasting less, that is better for the environment. So the two are very closely knitted together. ESG is really important at Oakland Care. It's part of our core values. We have a huge focus on sustainability, and we feel that that is essential now for any care provider or any company, to be honest, in the world to be focusing more on these things.
Coming up, we've got the Green Week, which is a 7-day period where we've got a really packed programme of things that we're doing morning and afternoon for a 7-day period, which everybody's really, really excited about and really on board with. Some of the things that we're doing during that week are like we grow our own grow our own strawberries, and we're making jam, which the residents really enjoy. We're making a scarecrow, so again we're making that from sustainable materials, and then that will go in the garden. And again, because the residents are helping make the items, they're really get excited to see the things in the garden and to be eating the items as well. So it's really, really a whole team effort from residents to staff to families.
Frontline staff are absolutely key in promoting sustainability. What we're proud to have done at Oakland is create a culture where sustainability is part of the true values of what we do. It's part of our core values as a company. But our staff on the ground, our frontline staff, absolutely need to be involved with that. We have communication channels going. We use Telegram for that, for instance. Again, paperless, a communication channel going for that, where we promote all of the sustainable ideas that we have, and those are then kind of fed back to us as well in new ideas from the staff on the ground. So yeah, a whole company approach that very much involves the frontline staff.
I absolutely love working as part of this team with the values that we have to do with sustainability. I love being the green champion. It makes me really feel part of everything that we're doing. And also by speaking to the staff, everybody's really, really positive and upbeat about it as well.
It's very good for us to have a good ESG agenda, because it certainly benefits our team, it benefits our residents, and it's great for us to demonstrate to our families, friends and potential residents that this is a key part of what we do. It's a difficult sector. There are a lot of challenges in the sector at the moment, but it's important that each provider gives this kind of effort towards their ESG credentials, as we are proud that we do.
No, I wouldn't consider that. I wouldn't work for any company that didn't focus on ESG. I take it really seriously. We do it in our home life. We do recycling at home. We're looking after the environment in our day-to-day living. So absolutely wouldn't work for somebody that didn't take this seriously.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Burridge, CEO and one of the founders of Utopi.
Yeah, I'm Falk Blyer. I'm CTO and co-founder at Utopi. Yeah.
So I think in health and social care, it's as important as in any sector or any type of commercial real estate to be able to have a real understanding of your consumption profile, your emissions profile, so that you can baseline your consumption levels and start to then really monitor ways in which you are having an impact against targets that you've set. So I think regardless of what you do around the other aspects of our product, on the road to net zero carbon, being able to measure allows you to manage and then make that transition to net zero. So that's kind of fundamental to any kind of building. I think specifically in health and social care, it's also really important to be able to create data sets that provide insights to the people that live and also the people that work in these buildings. So in a care setting, having much better visibility of the way that spaces are being utilised, how they're functioning, and being able to automate alerts and be able to create workflows from those alerts is a really great way of driving efficiency and a much better environment for all of the users of those buildings.
I think smart technology is vitally important because it provides you with data and insights in areas that previously would not have been able to be monitored in the same level of detail and with the same richness as is now possible and available. And it provides insight, potentially control, over various systems and aspects of a particular care environment. It provides documented evidence that certain aspects, like temperature being maintained in a certain room or a certain area, that evidence actually does become available. And it also helps and provides insight into the potential for reduction in energy costs by, firstly, having that control in place, by not overheating, which seems to be a fairly common theme in some of the care environments that we've been working in, and then being able to actually exert control and exercise control over those kinds of environments to make sure that they are comfortable on the one hand and not wasteful on the other.
I guess the most important thing here is that we make the care seekers comfortable in the environment that they're living in ultimately and being cared for in. So, understanding air quality levels is really important, making sure that there's a level of comfort in the spaces. So not just thinking about air quality, but also thinking about temperature, humidity levels, the light levels, the noise levels in those spaces. Really powerful sets of data like that can really improve the experience that these people have whilst they're living in their care setting. So that's really important, but also knowing that they're being taken care of by the operational teams on site, knowing that if they do, if there hasn't been any movement in a space over long periods of time, that somebody can intervene and actually provide some care kind of in flight, if you like, in terms of day to day. So yeah, and also for the families of these care seekers, it's important that they know they're being looked after properly, and that they're also thinking about the environment and the kind of wider net zero carbon challenges that the whole world is facing right now. So I think there's an element of reassurance for the resident, if you like, within these care settings, but also their families and loved ones.
I think it's in everybody's interest to see progress as far as ESG is concerned, and understanding that our use of environmental resources, whether it is electricity, the energy sources that are used to actually generate electricity, and water and other resources are used properly and prudently, because it's waste that is one of the biggest challenges really that we should try and avoid. And if we are all careful in our use of the limited resources that we have on this planet, that helps as far as ESG focus is concerned, and being able to surface data, again, to see and measure progress, to see and measure areas where there's room for improvement, and then, again, report on that improvement over time is extremely valuable. One of the things in a care environment that we have seen evidence of already is that buildings are often overheated, and that heating is often regulated through opening windows. Now, everybody knows and understands that if you heat a space and then you use windows to regulate temperature, that basically you're heating the outside, which is not what we would want. So by having proper ESG solutions in place that give you some control, it helps to actually regulate temperature and have it at a desired temperature without using the window to regulate the temperature. Obviously, making sure that there is fresh air and so on, that's not the problem, but there is a solution that actually regulates temperature without overheating, therefore minimizing waste.